Hey guys, I wanted to do a video covering some finishing mechanics for the knee cut pass. I've shown a lot of different setups, but there's a lot of details on the finish, so I just wanted to go quick into that. So the position we're gonna start in is like we've already cleared this leg and I'm kind of in here starting to work on the knee cut. We can get here a few different ways. In my last big knee cut breakdown video, I talked about a lot of times I'll grab this top leg, I push it behind and I kind of land here. Sometimes you may have the lapel and if their legs are open wider and I come in here and I start finishing, but either way, they're gonna kind of end up with my legs stuck like this, okay? So if the guy gets to the single leg grip, this kind of becomes a different thing. I'll probably do a separate video on this where the guy grabs the lapel. That usually turns into like face cranks and stuff like that. But the basic position you really want to understand to finish is before the guy has a grip here, okay? There's a lot of different ways I can finish. So once I get in, the guy hasn't got the single leg grip yet. The first thing I like to focus on is getting inside this gap here. Any knee cut finish, I'm gonna end with my opponent's shoulder blades on the floor and chest to chest, right? I wanna flatten him out, I wanna rotate him the other way, okay? So one common mistake people do is they'll dig for an underhook when this guy's kind of like this, and it's not really an underhook because he isn't attached to my leg or anything, so I can't really have it. So as I dig, he's gonna dig, right? And then now it's hard for me to flatten him, and if I try to go through here, he can even come up on my back, right? So one thing I focus on a lot here is I just kind of keep my elbow tight here. If he was to try to dig an underhook here, dig an underhook, like with this elbow tight, there's no way, there's just no gap here. And as he tries to dig for it, I can kind of extend and I use my forearm on his bicep or his shoulder here, and I can go and start driving through like this, right? So whenever I enter here, I get in like this, I just stay here and I want to keep this elbow kind of tight, okay? So now as he tries to grab the collar, I can kind of frame. If he tries to dig an underhook, I can block. If he tries to go around the outside, like where he kind of, go around that way, right? Where he kind of tries to go back and around. So like say I'm here, yeah, and he's gonna try to come under like that. As he goes back, I like to drop my elbow to the floor because see, now there's no way to get underneath that, right? And again, I lean my chest over his chest and I start grabbing here. What I grab with my left arm to finish can vary. Often once I get through here, I'll grab like the tricep. I really like the sleeve if I can get it because sometimes when you grab the tricep, the guy can kind of stiff arm or frame on you. And that's okay, especially if I have it like this. But if you get the sleeve, I pull him up and I can push it across. So now he tries to frame and he can't, right? And again, I want to get chest over chest. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're knee cutting is that they're trying to finish like going out this way or they go head down. A lot of people like to talk about like head down when you finish the knee cut. Almost never do you want your head down when you finish the knee cut. There's a few cases that I will do it and I'll cover that in other videos. It's particular half guard variations. But usually when you go head down, it's easier for the guy to push me away and get distance and now he can start lassoing and stuff, right? Every guard pass is gonna finish with his back on the mat and chest to chest. So I wanna try to get there early rather than later, right? So if I go out here, he's gonna push me out. So here I start leaning this way, I frame this arm out, I start getting the elbow or the sleeve, keep turning into me. See, and now my body weight is leaning over him, okay? So it's really important to understand this. And again, in a different video, I'm gonna address what to do if he does get this single leg grip because we have to build off that. So the big thing is just to understand, like no matter how I get in here, if I shoot this leg behind, I wanna start getting into this space early if I can to prevent him from getting to that single leg, right? If I'm in De La Hiva and hold the pant like, yeah. And I hit like a knee cut here like this, right? Here, he's gonna start trying to pummel. Now I wanna block it early. And again, I keep the elbow tight, frame, and start sliding through here. Yeah, so don't even think about the underhook here, right? It's limited. It's not gonna, like an underhook only really works when they're like on De La Hiva or like a single leg. They have to be attached to something to really have an underhook. If this arm is just like framed in the air, you could call this an underhook, but like he can push and like, so it's not really that kind of like locking in kind of underhook. So when I go, I'm actually more concerned with flattening this. So if I was here like this, my right hand, I'm gonna kind of guide my body along this and I'm gonna go here because I know he's gonna try to frame me as I go. So as you go to frame, you see how I just eliminated this with my forearm. So keep framing with that arm. You see how this is like he's just giving the pass here. Yeah, and now I'm gonna finish, right? So I'm kind of like trying to strike this with my forearm as I enter.
Great, thank you.
If I'm gonna do it off the Toreando, I find it's easier with the one arm because the two, sometimes like you're a little bit slower because I'm here, but if I just do like a quick one arm like this, see I'm already in and I kind of use my forearm to deflect this. And that makes it easy to land here.
Nice.
And a lot of times I don't even focus on grabbing the lapel as much as like, if I just do this in the air, you see my elbow prevents the underhook, he'll kind of reach for my cross collar with that hand. Like, yeah, you want to go here, right?
Yeah,
you see, I'm already framing it, right? Huh. So I'll be here like this, like there, and he's here. You see, and that completely stifles his counter post. And then I go through and I often drop my elbow straight to the floor.
And you don't do any underhook. So you actually
No, not in this case. An underhook only really works versus like a single leg or De La Hiva because they have a grip. But there can't really be, see like, I hold my pant leg like De La Hiva. See, if I was here and I hit this, there's an underhook, right? If he's on a single leg, grab like kind of a light single leg, here, there's an underhook. If there's no grip, it's really hard to have an action, like you could call this an underhook, but it's like he's gonna frame, you can't really have an underhook. So usually in these cases, I'm like here or even on the floor and I'm pulling and coming through. All right guys, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe and comment and let me know what you'd like to see in future videos. Not only does it help promote the channel, but it also gives me good ideas for videos to make in the future.